Hello, Assalamu alaikum, dear participants. Happy Christmas. A wonderful day, all of you. Welcome to Institute of Global Professionals. Thank you for joining us another live session, pre-international webinar in IGP. I am Kamrul from Bangladesh. Let's start the program. Today I will be presenting webinar number 297. The topic is social networking and internet use, the metal aspect. Let's welcome our speaker. Today we have three speakers from Philippines. Our first speaker is Sergius from Philippines. Hello, sir.
Hi everyone,
Hello,
I
sir.
am Josber Temporal from the Philippines.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to Institute of Global Professional.
Okay, so shall I begin now, sir?
Yes, sir. You can start your presentation.
All right, so allow me to give you the presentation. But before that, of course, it's it's very fair for all of us not
Sir,
to
at first, sorry, sir, I
yes,
can disturb you. Sir, at first you can describe yourself.
yes, sir. I'm about to. Yeah. Of course, it's a good day for all of us. So before I start, let me introduce myself first. Of course, I am Sir Josber Temporal from the Philippines. Currently, I am teaching physics in senior high school. Okay, and well, my interest is, of course, just like others. No, I love surfing the internet, and of course, updating my social media, and of course, learning more things. And of course, I am extremely honored um, to be able to participate in this kind of training or webinar in which we are learning so many things, no? And of course, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the Institute of Global Professionals, or the IGP, for having this kind of webinars, not just for professionals but also for the students who would like to learn a lot of things. And of course, um these kinds of events, no, is a good tool or a good platform for all of us to extend our network, to extend our linkages, of course, and to learn new things from more people, because I am certain that you will agree to me that learning can also come from different people. And of course, we should also accept the fact that um, we are bounded by culture, and of course with that we can learn and apply so many things, right? So that's I guess that's all I can share about myself. Okay, so again, I am from the Philippines, and here in the Philippines we are very festive right now because we are about to celebrate a holiday season. Now, for most of the Filipinos, they are celebrating Christmas, and Christmas in the Philippines is the longest celebration in the whole world. Now, we are celebrating this season for it's like 3 to 4 months, I guess. No, as soon as the Burr months, as we call them, no, approaches or enters, most of the Filipinos are already preparing for the Christmas season, and this is the happiest season of all the seasons, I guess, here in the Philippines. I know a lot of people here can relate, because I can see from the comment section there are a lot of Filipinos, from Pangasinan, and some are even from Mindanao, no? So from Pagadian, I guess I've seen one. Okay, so hello to you all there. So um, allow me now to present my topic tonight. Okay, so it is called social networking and internet use, the mental aspect. Okay, so we'll talk a lot of, well, not a lot, no, but we'll talk about things that concerns the social networking sites and its effect, be it a good or bad effect, because definitely um everything has its pros and cons, and now we will be dealing with them. Okay, so social networking site usage and cyberbullying among adolescents is my main topic this, well, tonight. See, I am Josber Temporal again. Okay, so let me share some facts now before I go straight to the main topic of this presentation. So, roughly, there are about 3 billion social media users worldwide. So, of more than 7 billion people in the here on earth, so there are about 3 billion social media users. So categorically they're using Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, of course. So these are the top social media right now. There are a lot of more new social media, such as the TikTok. Okay, so other facts in relation to my topic. So on average, people use 8 social media accounts. So statistically, it's just 7.6, but a rough estimate would give us 8 social media accounts, no? Because we cannot divide naman a one social media account. So roughly, there are 8 social media accounts that on an average, no. So statistically, um, well, I have four, no? So at least I'm below average. Okay, so also the average daily time spent on social media, it's of course in other be it a social media or any other sites, no, or video streaming sites. On an average, people are spending 142 minutes a day. That's more than an hour, no. So um more than 2 hours, no. So that's more than 2 hours per day. Okay, so if most of you are spending 8 hours or 9 hours on their work, they're using two of their 24 hours um per day, no, on the social media, whatever social media it is. Of course, it's an average. So probably, or well, I'm certain that some are even exceeding this time, this average time, which is 142 minutes a day. So 91% of retail brands use two or more social media channels. Imagine that. Almost all, almost all retail brands in the whole world are using at least two social media channels. Okay, so I guess 100% of them are using at least one. But imagine two social media channels. Of course, social media is a good marketing tool. It's a good platform for these retail brands to, of course, market their products. No, their whatever they're selling or their product is. Okay, and another one, 81% of all small medium businesses, these are the small, or the what we call them SMEs, the small medium enterprises. 81% of them are using some some kind of social media platform. Okay, probably Facebook, no, or Twitter. It's they are the most widely used social media platforms, especially for businesses, especially nowadays. No, well, we cannot consider, we cannot consider some shopping sites as social media, but these shopping sites are also using social media platforms to introduce their own products. Okay, so let's continue. So, social media users grew by 328 million between October 2018 and October 2019. In just 1 year, it grew by 328 million. Just imagine how much. Okay? So it's like having 10 new social media users per second. That's how big and that's how huge it is. So imagine, just imagine people doing their own social media. Eh, just imagine in just a span of 1 year, that much. That's that's big. That's huge. Okay. And of course, another fact here is Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp handle 60 billion messages a day. Because of course, no, this platforms, the Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp is an easy tool for us to use and for us to connect and for us to deliver whatever it is among our uh, group chat members or family, friends, whatever. Okay? So when asked, there are about 81% of teenagers felt social media has positive effects on their lives. Okay? And it's good. Okay? If these teenagers are seeing good effects or positive effects while they're using social media, then at least on their lives alone, personally, there is an effect, and that effect is positive. Again, that's of course subjective because they are the ones being asked, and we cannot assess if be if this particular positive effect is really giving them positive effect, because again, that is a subjective survey. Okay, another study found the effect of social media on teenagers was trivial. Okay, so human beings are social creatures. So, well, we are all social creatures. We are born to be or to have social interaction, to have social connection. Okay, but lacking social strong, take note of the term strong. Lacking strong social connections can pose a serious risk to your mental and emotional health. I can't imagine myself being in a room for a year, being in an island alone for a year. I might go crazy if I was left alone because I myself is a social creature. I love being with others. I love being with my friends. I love being with my family. I love going out. And if I was stuck in a certain area without anyone, my emotional health, my mental health might suffer. And some of you might also be the same. Okay? Although some might not be. Okay, so of course we, as I've said earlier, things have positive and negative aspects. So let us go to the positive aspects of social media. Let's list them one by one. So first, communicate and stay up to date with family and friends around the world. Imagine yourself living in early 80s or late 70s. Imagine yourself bringing an envelope, bringing an envelope with a letter in it, sending it in a post office, and then waiting for a week or two for that letter to be delivered. Just imagine yourself. And right now, communication is very fast. We don't have to go to post office. We don't have to wait for postman to deliver a letter, to deliver a message, because a social media is already there helping us to communicate with our loved ones who are abroad, who are in other country. In the Philippines, we have a lot of overseas Filipino workers. We have I'm not sure about the digits or figures, but there, well, almost all of the families I know in the Philippines has at least one family member who is working abroad. And communication through social media is a vital part of their relationship, because without the social media, poor communication and how should I say this, um slow communication might happen, and that might affect their relationship. And thanks to social media, we can communicate and stay up to date with our family and friends. That's a good one. Next, find new friends and communities. Yes, definitely. Okay, we can also find a network with other people who share similar interests or ambitions. In Facebook, there are several Facebook groups that caters members who are sharing the same passion, who are also sharing the same interests. Like there is a very famous group here in the Philippines called Home Buddies. During the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, this group this group was born. And this group is like a community of people sharing how they are spending their time, their time at home because they're not allowed to go out, and most of them are sharing how they improve their house, how they improve their home. And this group grew like it's a worldwide group already, in which some of the members there are from other countries as well. Actually, I heard that this particular group won an award, an international award. No, and people sharing their interests, sharing their own passion in a platform in which they can relate to is a good aspect of social media, because you find validation, you find external validation out of those people in that community. And that's good. That's good. That the validating feeling is really good. Well, in that particular scenario, no, I mean, I'm talking about that particular scenario in which you find other people in a particular area or a particular group. Also, social media promotes or join or promote worthwhile causes, raise awareness on important issues. This is really an important aspect of social media, because people are really using social media. Well, some of them are really um, using this platform to raise awareness, especially nowadays that um, well, here in the Philippines, we experienced, just I think last week, we experienced a very strong typhoon which hit parts of Mindanao, Visayas, and Luzon, the Palawan and Visayas, Cebu, and some other parts in Mindanao. And this typhoon Rai, it is internationally called Rai. Well, in the areas where the typhoon really hit bad, communication is so poor. And yet, people who have access to social media, they were able to send important point-to-point view of what is happening there. And they are giving awareness. And the international community now are pouring their help to those regions affected by the typhoon. And that is a good cause. And that is a good and positive aspect of social media. And also, seek or offer emotional support during tough times. There are also groups or group chats which offers emotional support. And there are also, I guess, there is this particular group in which they are offering emotional support through an AI or artificial intelligence, in which you can assess yourself, and from the assessment, the AI will give you or will refer you to another group in which whatever you need will be tackled. And that's a good one. And also, there is you were able to find an outlet for your creativity and self-expression. It's really good thing that we already have a platform in which we can use to promote and to show our creative side and self-expression. Before the vlogs, I used to read blogs, and these blogs are being shared in social media outlets. And it's really good because these bloggers are able to express themselves, share their tour experiences, share their thoughts, their random thoughts, share their stories, etc. And even other kinds of art. They're able to share that in social media. Okay, another one is that we were able to find vital social connection if you live in a remote area. For example, if in a particular area people there you know um have no access to internet, Okay, or well, they have access to internet, but their technology is not that advanced yet. Through social media, they were able to check others. Oh, what's happening in other parts of the world? What's happening in other parts of this region? Can we adapt that? Can we also improve our technology? And because of that checking, because of that mindset of you can check whatever it is happening in other parts of the world, you improve. You tend to set your mind for further improvement, which is good. Discover. Take note of this, no? Discover with care. With care. Sources of valuable information and learning. In this day and age, misinformation is very rampant in the whole world. Fake news, the propagator of fake news have found their platform in which they can share these fake news. That's why it is important that you know how to fact check, and you know how to check whether what you are reading is really true or not. That's why you have to be really careful. I guess there's already a topic here which discusses this one. Now, let's talk about negative aspects of social media. Okay? There are some people who are experiencing negative aspects or negative thoughts or negative effects of social media. First, inadequacy about your life or appearance. Because of what you're seeing in Instagram and Facebook, you tend to think of yourself being inadequate. There is a feeling in you in which you feel like there's something in me which is lacking. How are these people in Instagram um have those things? How are these people invest on something that I think I can also have, but I do not have it? See, you find yourself inadequate. You find yourself you tend to compare yourself with others, and that is a negative aspect. You develop a feeling that there must be something in me that is, you know, um being successful, or getting something that others have. Just imagine yourself, no, in an Instagram, checking, browsing, and learning that a friend has traveled a lot, learning a friend has already established a good business, a successful business, and here you are, no, doing nothing, or I guess doing a little things. You tend to develop that feeling. So that's a negative aspect. Another one is FOMO. Among the millennials, this FOMO, or fear of missing out, is very, well, I find this dangerous. I find this dangerous because you do not want yourself to be left behind. You do not want yourself to miss what's already there, or what others are experiencing. You do not want that. And that's, for me, that's dangerous, because you tend to, develop something in you that, you know you might get jealous, or something like that. Next is isolation. Well, isolation, for some people, might think that this particular thought or this particular concept of isolation has something to do with being isolated. Well, if you tend to feel you want to isolate yourself, then you must think again. Why? Because our nature is to expose ourselves socially. And if you want to isolate yourself, think, there might be something wrong. Okay? Next is depression and anxiety. Again, it's an impact that, you know um that is really hard to assess, to to check personally, and to treat. Now, this depression and anxiety, they are true. They exist. And people experiencing this depression and anxiety and or anxiety should consult to professionals. And they will help. They're These professionals are the ones who are really willing to help you. Okay? And it's really good to know that professionals are, you know they are approachable. They show their willingness to help. And one negative aspect of social media is this: it's because of what you're seeing. It's Some are really negative, positive toxicity. That might cause depression and anxiety. Next is self-absorption. You're being full of yourself. You tend to be egocentric already. No, you tend to to see yourself like, oh, I'm good, I'm beautiful, I'm handsome, I'm smart, I'll share this to the whole world. And you tend to seek external validation. And that external validation, well, that's somehow it's good for your oneself, but being full of yourself, that's another story. Okay? And the last one, this is very um alarming. Cyberbullying. You know what? In the Philippines alone, we have, or some people who experience cyberbullying. Well, I do not know about other countries, but in the Philippines, we have recorded here um, victims of cyberbullying who committed suicide just because of cyberbullying. They choose to end their life, which is sad, because the effect of cyberbullying, which we will later on discuss, might be a long term. And that's very a negative aspect of social media. Next, of course, these are some of the social media that you might have. Out of these five, I have three. Okay, so I guess I do not know. Um, Amongst you, hey, what is bullying? Let's talk about bullying now. Bullying is the use of force, coercion, hurtful teasing or threat to abuse, aggressively dominate, or intimidate. Whoever you are who is experiencing, you must seek help. Just imagine you are being forced to do something. You're being coerced, or people are throwing hurtful words towards you or threatening you. That's a form of bullying, and that kind of bullying can happen online, and that is what we call cyberbullying. So what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is a kind of bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. Cyberbullying can occur through SMS, texts, and even messaging apps or social media sites or whatever forum that you have. Even in gaming, a certain person can experience cyberbullying, and that's bad. That is something that you do not want to experience. That is something that you do not want your child to experience. That is something that you do not want your friends to experience, because it might it might lead to something really really bad. Next, being anonymous in social media. No, I find them weak because they're covering up. They like to cover themselves in a certain name that no one will know just to bully someone. Next, in the Philippines, these people are victims of bullying. I do not know if our participants here from other countries know them, but for sure, Filipino participants will recognize them. These two pictures, this person is the person in 2012. I'm not sure 2011, 2012, or 2013. The video exploded in social media. This is the Amalayer hashtag Amalayer girl. No, in a train station, this girl um created a scene, and the video showed a one-sided story, and that this girl received backlash from people. She received so many negative words, so many hurtful words, just because of the video which was uploaded in Facebook. She was a student then. I do not know right now. Next one is this. Filipino people know this guy right here. This was his picture before he received a surgery to improve his appearance. So this is Marlu and this is Sanderford, but they are just the same. They are the same person. This is the improved version, and this person received so many hurtful words. He received he received a lot of words, a lot of negative words. He was bullied just because he wants to improve his personal appearance. Next is this one. I do not know the personal name of this, but most of the bullies call him Lamok, mosquito. He has a girlfriend that is really pretty, and because of the standard of the society, of this society, the face of this man is not is like something that is not good for the girl, just because of the societal standard. Just imagine that, how bad people are. And he received a lot of hurtful words coming from people. Imagine Filipino people throwing words on him. Just imagine the feeling, how it feels like to be thrown of words, hurtful words. That's bad. Next one is this. They are world champions. These two pictures, and um, Venus. Oh my Venus. He is not a straight man. He is gay, and being just because of being gay, he received bullying from people because society has developed a culture that e-games, online games, are for men. And just because of being true to himself, he received cyberbullying. He experienced cyberbullying. Cyberbullying causes trauma and has great effect in one's mental health. And it might be long term. It might be lifelong mental health issue. And we do not want that to experience. We do not want our family members to experience this. That's why we should be educated about the effects of cyberbullying. And all of you here, all of you here being educated on this kind of topic, you should spread this. You should spread this particular this particular topic or this particular effects among youth, among your family members, because that might save someone from experiencing cyberbullying. So special concerns in cyberbullying. So we have here persistent digital offer and ability to immediately and continuously communicate 24 hours a day. So it can be difficult for children experiencing cyberbullying to find relief. Next, permanent. Most information communicated electronically is permanent and public. If not reported and removed, a negative online reputation, including for those who bully, can impact college admissions, employment, and other areas of life. You know what? We have this particular digital footprint. This digital footprint is, you know what? Um, it can be accessed by experts, and it might leave certain impact to those who are affected by that particular event or scenario. Okay? Next, what are the effects of cyberbullying? Lower school attendance and performance. Yes, because a person who is experiencing cyberbullying, might feel or might want to be alone in his or her room. And so he might feel not being, or he might feel, um you know the feeling of not attending school anymore, because there is a fear already. There's a fear that he or she might experience bullying again in school, and that might lead to long-term effect. Next, increases stress and anxiety. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Someone who's experiencing might, feel the pressure inside, which might cause stress and anxiety. Next, feelings of isolation and fear. You know what? If you're feeling isolated, or you want to be isolated rather, and there's a fear in you, no, that's really something that you um you might, you might um feel, and that's bad. That's really a bad effect. Poor concentration, yes, because your mind is focusing on something that, that is hurting you inside, which is very bad. Next, depression. Depression might lead to something bigger, something more negative. Okay, and if you're feeling like you're feeling it, seek help, professional help. Next, decreased self-esteem, yes, and confidence, yes. No, someone who experienced bullying, cyberbullying, might, or has a tendency to decrease his or self-esteem and confidence, and in extreme cases, it might lead to suicidal, which is, very bad. So, how to be proactive about cyberbullying? So first, ensure that your child only find friends and chats with people on social media that they know in real life. Yes. No, nowadays we have access to, or even the kids have access to social media, even though some of the social media have age restrictions. But that can be faked, diba? All right, rather, it can be faked. And you know what? Ensuring that your child can only access people who are really known to you will really help. Next is that ensuring that privacy settings are set on all your child's social media accounts. That's important. You have to check your privacy settings, or the privacy settings of your child, or yourself, just to protect yourself, of course. Next is make sure your child knows not to share or give out passwords. Very important. Because hacking may also lead to cyberbullying. I know someone whose social media was hacked, and his social media was used to bully someone and to get money from someone. Okay. Next is strategies for dealing with cyberbullying. So don't respond immediately. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time to calm yourself and do not respond or do not interact immediately with the bully. No, you breathe in, breathe out. Next, follow up when you're calmer. You know what? It's a prerequisite. You know what? If you tend to not to respond immediately, you find yourself calmer, and then you can do a follow up. Next, take screenshots. Screenshots can be used as evidence. Here in the Philippines, we have a law um, which protects social media users against this kind of bullying and against other crimes. So I hope other countries also have that kind of law. And the screenshots of events can be used as evidence. Next, try to stop frequently checking posts. If you refrain from visiting your social media that frequent, like spending it for a little time, that might help. That might help. Next, report and block. Know that every social media platforms have kind of um what do you call this kind of this kind of tool, a reporting tool and blocking tool, so that you will not be able to receive messages or whatever it is coming from a certain person, and reporting a certain person um who's affecting you um might help, no, to block that particular person in that particular social media. I know a lot of people who were blocked in Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter just because they are reported, mass reported, because they're sharing, they're continuously sharing fake news. And so netizens, as what we call them, netizens have committed to mass report that person. And so in TikTok, she was banned, which is a good thing. Next, so how to prevent your teen from being cyberbullied? Of course, education is a good tool. What if you're educated? That's really something good. Okay. Next is teach and inform them about the negative effects. There's no such thing as positive effect of cyberbullying. Only negatives. That's why you have to teach them. Next, remind them to ignore something that might not help them. Okay. And next is um you know what, you must be engaged only to those people whom are really known to you. So before you post, always remember this. Think. Think. Okay. What does that mean? Think. T, you have to know, is it true? That's important. Is it true? Before you share or before you post. H, is it helpful? I, is it inspiring? N, is it necessary? And K, is it kind? Those things are really helpful before you post something. And that might save someone, from being cyberbullied. With that, I'd like to thank everyone for listening. I hope you captured something from this topic. And I'd like to wish you all a happy holiday. With that, thank you everyone and good evening. Sir, I'm done already. Sir Camrul, Ma'am Windy.
Dear participant, let's welcome our second speaker. Our second speaker is from Philippines. Let's welcome our second speaker.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Shall I start, sir?
Welcome, ma'am.
Windy, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You can start your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Good evening again, Ma'am Windy.
Ma'am Wendy, can you hear? Ma'am Wendy,
Here,
please unmute your microphone.
shall I start? So, my topic, sir, is
Yes, ma'am. You can
about,
start
yeah,
yours.
okay. So, my second topic is about parent child relationship on internet gaming addiction. So, the mediating uh, factor here is, of course, our mental health. Okay, so parent-child relationship on internet gaming addiction. So the mediating role of mental health. Good evening once again. Of course, the focus is, of course, the classic gaming. So before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Jocelyn B. Pundabella. Of course, good afternoon, probably. Good evening or good morning to some. Hello, world. Okay. Hello, everyone, to all present in this webinar. Again, I am Jocelyn Pundavela. I am a life coach and trainer with, of course, a strong leadership background. So I am committed to helping others to manage change and transition smoothly. I work before with corporate and now with, of course, government and team coaching and development. On the other side, I am a professor, a licensed professional teacher, a registered psychometrician, an author, a writer, a youth formator, and guidance counselor. Again, I think that's all for my background. So everyone, good evening. Okay, so let us proceed. No, the next slide actually is focusing on as I have said, gaming as our passion. So we create fun, or we create, of course, fun games that we love. Okay, so we will focus on the games, and we will see the effect of that. No, our the relationship between parent and child. Okay, so as you can see in the slide, of course, you can guess the game. So we have the famous game Super Mario Brothers. We have also Pac-Man. So we have, of course, Plants versus Zombies, right? So I presume that you remember all those. So we have also Pokemon Go. So we have Temple Run and the famous, of course, Mobile Legend. So we have that. So when we talk of all the games that describes any video games, of course, that offers online interactions with other players, right? Before we go to that, we will, of course, discuss some history. for all the teachers out there and parents for the history of our online gaming. Okay, so let me proceed with the history of online games. Dates to the early days of packet-based, no, computer networking in the 1970s. So, as an early example of online games, of course, so we have the what are those? The MUDs includes including the first what MUD one, which was created in 1978 and originally confined to an internal network before becoming connected to ARPANET. I think that was in 1980. Okay. So the history of online game, as you can see in the slide, uh, dates to the some of the first mainframe computers. As computers were built, actually games were designated to test them. So as networks were created, games were also designated to test them. From NASA to MIT, games were developed and tested as computers, and the internet evolved. Here, we are going to dive into a history lesson. So, give me some time to, of course, review our history of online gaming. So, the history of online gaming, let me proceed to the year 1990s, of course. So, the rapid availability of the internet in the 1990s led to an expansion of online games with notable little, I think, including, of course, Nexus. So the Kingdom of Winds, that was 1996. So we have also the Cake World 1996 also, and then we have the Ultima Online 1997. I hope my memory serves me right, and my research also. No? Okay, Lineage that was 1998. So we have also StarCraft 1998 also. So we have the famous again Counter Strike here in the Philippines. This is famous Counter Strike 1999, and we have the EverQuest 1999. Okay, so that's it. To continue, we have of course the history of online gaming. That was, of course, we have 1970s here to show us the release of personal computers and gaming consoles. So the 1982, we have now hit the year of the computer as declared by Time magazine, the year of the computer. In between 1984 to 1990, so the 1980s sees the release of personal computers. Of course, the famous Bill Gates creates Junkie and provides the basic code to encourage programmers to develop their own games. So in 1993, rather, this kicks off our descent into what? Awkward trial and error period for online gaming. It begins with CRN releasing the World Wide Web software into the public domain. So that's again, I think that's the history. Of course, everybody knows some of the history, but we we're having a problem with regards to date. But this is the development of computer gaming in the whole wild world. Of course, the as you can see in the slide, the start of the 2000, we'll see the release of gaming consoles with internet capabilities built in. So this trend will continue to today and only become a bigger part of the gaming experience. Of course, we are now into mobile gaming. Of course, this is our issue. Actually, the topic I task to my task today is the topic that I'm supposed to discuss is more on the parent-child relationship on internet gaming addiction. So mobile gaming is the new cigarette according to research. Okay, so according to slides, our phones are what we reach to when sitting at the bus stop, when we have, of course, anxiety, when we need to fill space. They're a drug that will launch online gaming into an entirely new world. Of course, games are built mobile first, and As we have seen with, of course, Pokemon Go, there is a lot of money to be made in the mobile game market, right? So in our history of what, 2009, Angry Bird is released on Apple iOS, created by a Finnish company. So this marks the first mobile game to explore in the Apple App Store. So in 2012, Nintendo creates the Nintendo network for the, of course, the for us to, well, to be familiarized with. Of course, way back 2014, so we had our PlayStation 4 is released with what, improved internet capabilities for online gaming. So at this point, PlayStation has the capability to share games with friends over the internet. So this is the PlayStation Share Play feature. In 2015, I think in 2015, mobile gaming is projected to produce more revenue that, of course, console gaming. So in 2016, Pokemon Go is released. This is the first augmented reality mobile game and instantly goes viral. So Pokemon Go also changes the way mobile games make money. As mobile first continues to be the big push of the 2010s, we are already seeing the next possible evolution of gaming. And that is what we call the virtual reality. Okay, moving on. So our virtual reality, as you can see, and in the slides, of course, in the future, I want my reality to be virtual. So virtual reality is still what, it's still in primitive stages of the average consumer. Though the interest by large corporation is high. Again, virtual reality is still in its primitive stages for the average consumer. As I have said, the interest by large corporation is high. By large corporation is high. With Facebook purchasing Oculus, if you remember that, we can see a trend in making virtual reality a platform. So way back 2001, the SAS library in France provides what? Virtuals VR Pack. So in 2007, Google releases Street View. And then 2013, I think Oculus purchases Oculus VR virtual reality. In 2015, we have the Valve corporate announces their own HTC virtual headset. So 2016, I think Oculus Rift is released as a headset specifically for gaming. So much of the virtual reality landscape is unknown, and it's still a primitive stages for mass consumer appeal. So what we can say here is there is a lot of hype around the topic. The history of online gaming follows a similar path to that of the internet. So as we are still in the internet's infancy, we are also in online gaming's infancy. What is going on to play, or what is going to play a role in the success of gaming, is how we deal with network latency, bandwidth, and throughput. So particularly over our value networks or our mobile networks also. Okay, so what are the facts about gaming? Okay, so let us see. Okay. So here, almost all parents claim children. So in the research, actually, almost all parents claim children rather have played video games in some capacity. So what age do children start gaming? So in the slides, per research, 3 in 4 children between the ages of 4 to 5. Well, remember this. the 4 to 5 have experience playing games on a tablet. Wow, that's it's on research. Okay, there in 4 children. Okay, so let me show again another slide. In reality, children spend just over 2 hours a day during the week and nearly 5 hours at the weekend, with variations by gender. There is also time spent gaming online increase with age. Estimated weekly hours spent gaming increase with age, ranging from 6 hours, 12 minutes for 2 to 4 hours, ages rather, who play games, to 13 hours, 48 minutes for 12 to 15 years of age. So that's reality. Okay. So what is now the advantage? Overflow of information today of the internet usage, right? So what is now the advantage of online gaming? So I have here, uh, I think five. So we have socialized concentration. So I have analytical skills. Okay. So for socialize, so I think we still have to note that there is what we call advantage or advantages of of online gaming. One is socialize. When we are socializing, when playing online games, there is always a tendency to get socialized. Why? Online gaming allows communication to take place between players of different regions. They can interact also with each other while having fun. They will not only help them to get socialized, at the same time, they will be a better team player, right? So we have concentration. In concentration, frequently, I think playing online games will make children brains function quicker and overall improve their memory power. So some online games require extensive planning and problem solving skills to complete, of course, levels. Therefore, children need to be mentally more active and concentrated. So how about analytical skills as one of the advantages? Well, also online gaming helps to improve analytical skills. Using these skills, gamers should be able to respond quickly to the changes in the game. Even these analytical skills will be useful in real life where there is a need of immediate problem solving, right? Of course, we have relaxation rather. So, online gamers are also known to promote relaxation. Why? Obviously, games are one of the popular choices for entertainment. People with anxiety, as what the speaker said a while ago, that people with anxiety and depression can play online games to relieve stress. Not only children, but even adults also play online games for relaxation, right? Okay. So for number five, I think revenue for one of the advantages of online gaming. Online gaming also makes it possible to earn money. That's in reality. So if it is a right, of course, platform, based on the level of hard work, of course, they can significantly earn potential rewards, but only under the condition of course, 18 or above age. With increasing revenue, children might show a positive attitude towards gaming. See, there is advantages of online gaming. Okay. So what is now the disadvantages of online gaming? If we have advantage, of course, we have disadvantages. One is, I think, to give you some info, some games let children play and chat with anyone in the world, right? As I have said a while ago. So this means they might come across offensive language and bullying. So bullying was discussed a while ago. So not everyone online is who they say they are. Children should avoid giving out personal details that could identify them on their location, as what Sir just were discussed a while ago. So some games also encourage players to buy extra elements during the game. Children have, of course, have been known to run up large bills without realizing. Eh, Basically, in some other countries, they're using credit cards for that. So in extreme cases, bullying, also known as griefing, can be used as a tactic to win games. Children may find, of course, themselves either bullying or being bullied. So get involved may find also out what type of games your child enjoys and making sure they're appropriate for their age. So it can be hard to stop some games in the middle of a battle, as there are penalties for, of course, what quitting, and children may feel they are letting teammates down. For the costs, as I have said, as one of the disadvantages of online gaming, of course, the major cost of online gaming comes from the charges rather of internet connection. So the internet service provide ISP may impose large data changes depending on the time the user spends for gaming. So some online gamers or games also requires players, of course, to have what online accounts, which is normally with a monthly fee. Again, with a monthly fee. In game, purchases are also included where a player can upgrade their elements by paying some of fee. I think that's the disadvantage. Another one is, of course, we have security. So when playing online games, there is always a risk of hacking. Players enter their personal information in online gaming. This was discussed a while ago for various reasons. If a hacker manages to hijack this information, they could use it for illegal activities. That's bad. So as a result, the reputation of the player could be destroyed within seconds. That's truly, truly bad. So for number three advantage, this is addiction. Playing online games for an extended time period can also lead to addiction. So some gamers are addicted to an extent that what they have forgotten their daily responsibilities. Online game addiction has become a serious issue that many people are struggling to deal with. Of course, by what? Prioritizing work first, games would be able to lessen the time devoted for, of course, to gaming. Okay, so another disadvantage moving forward is cyberbullying that was discussed, but I'm going to give some points again to, of course, dig deeper on cyberbullying and the health concerns. Okay. So for the disadvantage of cyberbullying, no matter how developed internet platform is, there are many people around the world who tries to, of course, misuse internet users. Cyberbullying is one, of course, such way through which these people will make advantage. It is, of course, a popular tactic used to distract, of course, gamers. No, most often, underage children are targeted for bullying, and also in the name of gaming players could be cheated with their money. And remember, parents, teachers, adults in the audience, this is one of the disadvantages. Health concerns, prolonged time spent in online gaming can have a adverse effect or adverse effects on your physical health. So online games often spend too much of time staying in one position without much of any physical activities. The result of this can be seen in the form of course, our shoulder and back pain. So, moreover, staring at a computer or a phone screen for a long time can lead to various eye problems, so including blurry vision. All this can be negative effects to our body. Okay, so remember the number five disadvantage, our health concern. Health is wealth. Okay, so moving on. So I would like to focus on, as I have said, online addiction. Okay. So what are the risks of online gaming? Okay. So what are the risks of online? Okay. See? So what are the risks of online gaming? So gaming addiction classified as disorder. So sad, and this is reality. So although there are some great beliefs for, of course, online gaming for young people, it's important to be aware of some of the risks that might impact our, of course, our well-being. So games can offer young people a sense of escape from the reality of the world, and the social aspect of some games can help children feel part of a community. However, without the right guidance on what games to play or when to play, children can be exposed to certain risks such as in game bullying, online grooming, or in some extreme cases, gaming addiction. Okay. So as I have said, we have the as I have said a while ago, that gaming addiction classified as what, disorder. So I'd like to go back to that. Yes. So I'd like to give focus on this classification. These worries actually have been intensified with news that the World Health Organization, or the WHO, so adding gaming under the section of what that deals with disorder due to addictive behaviors, no, category 06, which also deals with same thing with what alcohol, drugs, gambling. So there has been strong disagreement among experts on the inclusion of video gaming in the ICD 11 list. Actually, ICD 11 list is under the, these are the lists of the disorders, no, that we can find if we're going to be assessed by a psychiatrist. So this criteria, when endorsed, aims to identify what extreme cases of behavior as an addiction. So the average child who plays a lot of games is not addicted. Only when when they are gaming is to the, I mean, severe detriment of other parts of life, and they continue to pursue it in spite of this for 12 months. So thus it start to fall into this diagnosis. Also, it's important to understand that the levels of dopamine that games create in the brain are only a tenth of those created by chemical substances that can be addictive. So changing behavior is about helping children form new habits rather than a chemical withdrawal like substance abuse. That's what I just want to share to the whole world. Okay? So as I'm about to discuss more on the addiction, so should do, what parent should do to support children. Since my topic is um, parent-child relationship, how are we going to support our children? Okay. So one in the slide is, of course, you have in your number one in the slide, of course, you need to what? It is a good idea for parents, of course, to understand how long their children play games and what games they are playing. And for apply time limits, where gaming gets excessive, time limits can be a good short-term measure to reset bad habits. And then for Number three, take regular breaks of at least 5 minutes every 45 to 60 minutes as a rule of thumb. And of course, we have the game here. So review what they are. So this is just a reminder. Review what they are playing and how long for. So apply limits. Encourage what? Encourage them to take breaks. That's the best thing to do. Okay. So moving on. So avoid what I have in my slides. So avoid sorry. So avoid in my slides. So avoid, yeah. So avoid only setting time limits and instead play what? Play games with children and help them find a range of activity to enjoy. And and then if you have or if you are you have concerns about the health, someone is playing games excessively, then we should consult a professional. Okay. Okay. So what are going to do with to contact strangers? Let's say managing online interaction. So we have uh, growth of social networking and gaming, and then we have use of personas to hide real identities. So what are we going to do that to support our, of course, environment, our children, our our concerns with aside from our own children. So managing online interactions, like of course many things in life, video games are much more fun when played with other people, right? So recently, that has transitioned from playing with people in the same room to other people online. So additionally, the number of people that can participate in a single game has greatly, of course, risen. So the popularity of, I think, Fortnite stems in part from its inclusion of, I think, 100 strangers in the same fight to the death. Of course, we have in the growth of social networking gaming, we have the level and types of communication online games offer have of course evolved significantly over recent years, whereas games were seen separately from social media. They now greatly overlap with online social sharing sites. That was discussed, so many apps, so many sites. So in fact, most children first interaction with someone they don't know online is now more likely to be in a video game like Roblox than anywhere else. So use of personas to hide their identities. So in these games, players do not, of course, necessarily know who they are playing with. Online personas and the games may report being other children, but it is hard to validate if it is in the case because of these parents and careers need to understand the games their children are playing and how to set up safely, right? So handled sensibly, playing with other children online can enrich a child's environment or enjoyment and also bring them to bring them into contact with others from around the world with different cultures and outlooks. Okay, again, there is a question. What again parents should do to support children? Okay, so check setting uh, on devices. These are the things that we're going to do. Teachers, parents, or any or whoever in charge to our children. Checking setting and devices. When you first, purchase a video game console, ensure you set up the online interaction settings in the parental controls or family setting, right? So another, keep devices in shared family spaces. So keep consoles and computers in shared family spaces so you can see the interaction for yourself. And then play on sound on speakers, not headset. What do I mean by that? If your child uses a headset to play, ensure they play over the speakers occasionally so that you can, hear what is being said. And then we have another, turn on a notification on your account. Okay, and then set up children's account, set up separate account for children of different ages in your home to be able to tailor interaction. So you can also play together using your child's account to see who they are talking to. Okay, so what else that we can miss? Of course, we have the talking about online gaming on health. So we have potential physical impact. So we have what we call video games are perceived to be a sedentary hobby. However, many new games and technology actively what encourage movement and motion. So whether this is getting the family out for walks with, let's say, Pokemon Go, or jumping around the sitting room with Just Dance, games can actually be a great way to get the family moving. So what are we going to ensure children take breaks and move around? Um, there have been studies that suggest situation in which someone spends hours sitting in one place can increase the risk of a deep vein thrombosis, or what we call the DVT. But this can happen with any stationary leisure activity, including watching television, listening to music, or reading a book. When, of course, children are playing games just on screens, it is good advice to ensure they take breaks every hour. So not only will, of course, this keep them moving, but it offers a chance of activity. Another area for concern is with what bright flashing lights that are, of course, often a part of video game experiences. And then the current research shows that the what video games don't cause epilepsy but can, like television or pop concerts, trigger a seizure and what we call in an extremely small number of people who already have uh, what we call photosensitive epilepsy. So what do you mean by photosensitive epilepsy? This is the what extreme sensitivity to ultraviolet, right? Lights. Okay. So the Consumer Safety Unit of the government department, together with the National Epilepsy Society, has carried out an exhaustive study into this area, which found that epilepsy cannot be caused by what playing computer games. Yeah, see, so that's research. Okay, to proceed. So again, Merry Christmas to everyone. So it's quite too festive here in the Philippines. So again, I think I have so many questions what parents should do to support children. Of course, so I have to remind you of that. So review child's gaming, sabi. Sorry, review child's gaming diet. Okay, encourage your children, of course, to play a wide variety of online video games. So you need to advise regular breaks. Ensure children take breaks every hour. Be aware of photosensitive epilepsy. Consider whether you have a history of photosensitive epilepsy in your family. Consider, as I have said, whether you have a what we call a history. Then play active games together. Introduce games you play together that include activity. So symptoms to watch out for. If you experience symptoms such as lightheadedness, altered vision or eye or face twitching, it is recommended that you immediately stop playing and consult a doctor again. If you have experienced that, and you have noticed that, I may recommend that you may immediately stop, ask your children to stop playing, and go directly consult the doctor. Okay. So game cost and gambling. So let us see what are we going to do with this. Use of in-game and in-app purchases in-game. Say, let us see. Skin gambling. So what are the research that we have for that? That use of in-game and in-app purchases. Of course, online video games require, you know, relatively complex hardware to participate in, along with a high-speed internet connection. So this can create the perception that you need the most up-to-date technology for your child. However, there are a wide range of ways that your child can, play video games online without breaking the bank. So tablet devices and I think older smartphones are, of course, a good example of this. Even older models can, of course, offer a comprehensive way to enjoy video games online. So apps such as I have said, Roblox can offer children access to the game even on lower end devices. So in game and in app purchases and premium games. So we have what other costs that parents should be aware of are those that crop up after the initial purchase or download of the game. So an increasingly popular way to fund game development is to offer games for free, but then charge for content or characters in the game. These are called premiums games. So Fortnite is an example of a free game making a lot of money from its end game purchases that unlock new outfits and dances. So I think BBC owns it. So children explain what loot boxes are to parents. So we have what we call skin gaming, or sorry, skin gambling. So this is in some instance this transaction, sometimes called loot boxes, offer a chance to win an in-game item of varying value to the players. So this can appear similar to gambling, as this is luck involved as to which item the player will get. So also, some games like Rocket League have historically presented these items in a fruit machine style spin to win. So from a gambling commission perspective, this is not actually gambling because there is no, I think, monetary value of the items won outside the game. So if it is was considered gambling, it could not be marketed to children. So this means that some countries such as Belgium have outlawed the use of loot boxes in games because they are seen as gambling aimed at children. So there's no consensus rather, more widely available though. So in the UK and US, games are now labeled as what, having in-app purchases as part of the rating system. So an important distinction that many articles conflate is between online gaming and online video games. I think, oh, I'm talking to, the right track, no? Online gaming usually refers to gambling websites where what players can partake in traditional gambling games of cards, dice, and slot machines. Online video games are the topic of this section actually. Playing on consoles and PC to offer players a challenge of skill in a virtual world. And then children who want more in-game currency to purchase loot boxes are sometimes targeted, but unofficial third-party apps offering this exchange for information. So it's important that of course, parents understand this, educate their children. Again, educate your children and ensure appropriate passwords are set on credit card details. So remember that, parents. Okay, so to proceed, so I'm about to end actually. So review what are the things that are going to support or to what are the things that parents support their children and manage their children online games. Review ongoing gaming costs. So consider the ongoing cost of playing a game before making a purchase or granting your child permission to download it. Of course, use your parental controls. Set up parental controls to limit, of course, access to any credit cards associated with online games accounts. So set up emails on the device to flag purchase or purchases. Set up your device or console with an email account, your check so that purchases are quickly flagged, and then use cards or gift cards to make purchases rather than credit cards. Consider not associating your credit card with an account and instead buying gift cards with, of course, pretest credit, similar to book tokens. So you have to remember that, parents, children, and of course, our audience and the whole wild world. Okay, so tackling bullying and online, of course, hate that was discussed because of the interactive nature of video games. Where what? Of course, players participate in the online screen action. Parents can worry that this will affect children's behavior. So this is particularly true where younger players experience more violent games, not necessarily designed, of course, for their age group. No direct link between violent behavior offline and video games. However, contrary to popular belief and many newspaper headlines following violent incidents involving teenagers, a direct link, there is a direct link between video game violence and violent behaviors for, of course, um, has not been found. So in their book actually by Moral Combat, Markey and Ferguson show that although the rise of video game sales to teenagers has risen steeply over the years, there has been no correlating rise in violent crime. So in fact, they suggest that the reverse is true. So the games or that games can play a role in keeping teenagers off the streets and out of trouble. Still, it is important that parents understand how video games affect their children. Parents also may not be aware of the actual scenes their children will experience in games before playing them. So it's crucial, therefore, that parents use the PEG ratings and related informations that provide a detailed account of the violence, such as what, of course, sex and language contained in a video game. So we need also what keeping it positive while gaming. Take a look at our internet manners. Sorry. So guide to give your child tips on how to what interact safely with others online. Okay. Yes. So I'm about to give you this, of course, the last slide that I have here. That what, according to Nolan, of course, Bushnell, that video games foster the mindset that allows creative to grow. Again, video games foster the mindset that allows creativity to grow. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for listening. That's the end of my talk.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with our participants.
Thank you.
Thank, dear participants, let's welcome our third speaker. She is from Philippines. Let's welcome our ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Hello. Sorry. Hello, good evening, everyone. And we're a few minutes here in the Philippines to Christmas. And by the way, I am Loida Andagami. Uh, as you can see, I also came from the Philippines. And Merry Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas from the Philippines and the world. Currently, I am a I am undergoing my master's degree in atmospheric physics at Ateneo de Manila University. And apart from that, I am also a freelancer, a freelance academic specialist here in the Philippines. I am interested now in cryptocurrencies and such, and most of the times I do read books. And the book that I love reading right now is the power the human laws by Robert Greene. And sir, shall we start? Okay, I think it's a cue for me to start right now. So today I'm going to talk about the effects of social media envy on ill-being, which is the deficiency in our health and the well-being. So again, this is me, Loida Andagami from the Philippines. And okay. So now let us start with social media and mental health and the role that social media plays in our mental health. So, while many of us enjoy staying connected on social media, excessive use of social media can fuel feelings of anxiety, depression, isolation, and what Mr. Jasper discussed earlier, which is FOMO, or the fear of missing out. However, there are we know that using social media can also be a good thing for us because we stay connected with our friends and our family. But there are multiple studies that showed, or there is a strong link found between heavy social media usage and increased risk of getting depression, anxiety, loneliness, doing self harm, and the worst of all, even suicidal thoughts. Social media may promote negative experiences such as, I'm sorry, inadequacy about your life or your physical appearance. We can see on the graph here that the most popular social media platform used by Americans in 2021 is Facebook. 86% of the Americans use Facebook. Then we have Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, Reddit, and Clubhouse. In the Philippines, the most popular social media use is also Facebook because um, most of the Filipinos have created their social media account, right, in Facebook. Also, as we can see here on the graph, we can see the effect of social media on US teens. So this is how they perceive, or this is how they feel about social media. On the left side, you can see that most teenagers see social media as negative for 24%. Most the teenagers also see social media mostly positive for 31%, and for neither, it is 45%. the main reasons why the main reason why they see social media for its negativity is bullying or rumor spreading, which was discussed earlier by our previous presenter. So though we are using though we are using Facebook, or we are using our social media for connectiveness, sometimes there are we are experiencing negativity. I know that you are also experiencing that kind of negativity. For example, you see negative you see photos on the internet or on your social media that you do not really like. So what we want to do here is we are going to lessen the feeling of that negativity if possible. Okay, so in this presentation, or in this slide, we can see that most people, the Philippines or the Filipinos use social media the most. So the average time spent on social media by the Filipinos is 3 hours and 50 minutes. So you can do a lot of things in 3 hours and 50 minutes actually, but second one is Nigeria, and then for India we have 2 hours and 36 minutes. So you can see here that a lot of people uses social media. For July 2020, the total number of active social media users is 3.9 billion, and the total number of media users accessing it through mobile phone is 3.91 billion. Social media penetration users versus total population is 51%. Annual growth in the total number of social media users is 10.5%. So we have an increasing number of social media users, and the percentage of total social media users accessing via mobile is 99.9%. 99%. So we are going digital around the world as of October 2021. Out of the 7.89 total population, 5.29 billion are unique mobile users, and 4.88 billion are internet users, and the active social media users are 4.55 billion. So you can see here that we are all around the globe or across the globe, a lot of people are going digital and they are really into social media. So I'd like to ask yourself, as social media users, I want to ask you, and imagine that you are looking at the mirror, seeing yourself. Are you happy with what you have? Are you contented with your appearance, yourself, or the things that you do, or your accomplishments, your goals in life? I want you to think about it and reflect a little bit. So this is really connected in in how you use your social media account, because you know the social our social media accounts is the extension of ourselves, and how we see ourselves is how we also curate the things that we post on our social media accounts. Since I have given you all the numbers regarding the social media users, what why is it really that social media is growing in popularity? So aside from the fact that social media allows people to connect and reconnect with lost friends, high school friends, elementary friends, or lost family members that live far away, or those people that they have lost connection with. It became a vital communication tool, especially in this time of our of pandemic. Amongst others, rather, the positive effects linked to social media usage are higher feeling of connectedness, and also getting positive feedback. I know that you are you are very aware of this. Whenever you post something on your social media account or your Facebook account, like for example, a picture of a wedding or your accomplishments, you are really happy to get positive feedbacks, likes, hearts, reactions from other social media users because you get to connect with them. And this results in your self esteem being boosted. So these are the reasons why those are the reasons why social media is growing in its popularity. What's the good thing about using social media? So these are the likes. Social media supports connection. Like what I said earlier, people who use social media share information and connect with other people, especially those who are really in a long distance relationship with other people. Also, those who are in this time in their houses or their homes in this time of pandemic, where they keep their stay at home orders, they are social media allows them to, be safe by keeping away from meeting other people. In our home, I use Food Panda and Grab as my way to order money. Order food rather, and use virtual money so that I won't be able to, you know, uh, talk with other or uh, interact with other people physically. And social media became a vehicle for social support and connectedness that they would not have, otherwise have. Social media also makes people feel good about themselves. Social media has a tendency to uh, reinforce use. People quickly become hooked on checking their status and comments and also your likes or reactions that you get from Facebook, as well as looking at other people's posts. Sometimes you see a friend's post, a funny post, and then you interact with them by giving them likes or reactions, haha reacts. And the usage of social media makes or activates the brain's reward system, which releases the hormone called dopamine, which is a feel good chemical. This dopamine release in turn keeps people coming back because they want to repeat those feel good experiences. So sometimes this is the reason why we keep on getting addicted with social media, with using social media, especially using Facebook, Twitter, because social media makes us or triggers our reward system. That's why we keep on coming back. Another thing is, or another good thing why we use social media is it boosts our self esteem. Social media can boost our self esteem, especially when a person is viewed favorably online, or if you get a lot of or a number of likes and interactions regarding the things that you post or your contents. And social media also allows those people who cannot communicate well physically and or in the real world, like those who have social anxiety, for example. It enables, or social media enables them to interact with other people without really getting in touch physically with them. And these are the good things about social media. For every good thing, there's also disadvantages. So how social media is making you feel bad about yourself. So mostly these are the things that makes us feel a little insecure. We all have insecurities and moments of feeling inferior to other people who appear to, have it all. Sometimes, when we are scrolling through our Facebook account, we will see people who are posting their accomplishments, like they already graduated, or they have a baby, they are now married, or advancement in their positions, in their work positions. So if you are reading those statuses, and instead of feeling excited about announcing their accomplishments, you felt sick about it. I think you are having what we call social media envy. Social media envy happens when a person becomes envious of others' lifestyle and the aspects of their lives where they can see that very good or stable in their social media account. Don't worry, because feeling social media envy is normal. It is normal for us people to, or for us humans to feel envious of other people. Jealousy is a normal thing. It's really, it's really hard to feel happy for other people. When, for example, it's really hard to feel happy when you see your friend on their wedding day, when you are alone and you're having a hard time looking for a partner, right? Or it's really difficult to feel happy for other people seeing their pictures in a party where you are not invited and you're there sitting alone on your computer working. So it's really normal for us to feel envious about other people. It's a normal feeling. And it the bad thing about it is that if we keep on experiencing, or if we keep on feeling it all the time. So social media envy have the following symptoms. First is an overall drop in the mood. So for example, you see the post and then you felt you felt disgusted about the post. So there's an overall drop in your mood. Another symptom is you are feeling empty after reading some happy posts. It's just a simple happy post, or it's just a simple upbeat post, but you feel empty after that. So that's another simple symptom of social media envy. Another is you feel this self-loathing and despair behavior or feeling when you are seeing others, because of you're feeling jealous about them. Diba? Diba? Because after all, shouldn't you feel happy for others when they're posting their accomplishments? It's the normal feeling or the normal behavior for people is to feel happy about other people's achievements. But if you are experiencing the following, an overall drop in your mood, feeling empty, you are self-loathing, you're asking yourself, why am I not having this? Why am I not feeling this? I think you are having social media envy. So these are the facts, or these are the reasons why we are feeling this social media envy. Number one is we always compare ourselves to others, right? I know, I know deep in your hearts, you are also comparing yourself with other people. You are looking, you're looking at your neighbor's house, for example. Why are they having such, elegant house? Why am I not having that kind of life, right? Whenever you see your friend or your high school friend on Instagram, and you see that they have they have a good job, they are going on a vacation and a beach, you tend to compare yourself with them. Comparing others it's normal. It's really normal for people to compare what they have with other people. So this might be the reason why we feel envious of others. Another reason why we feel social media envy, or we feel envy in general, is that we are not contented with our lives, or we are dissatisfied with our lives, and we forgot to be appreciative of what we have. Sometimes especially now in the Philippines, we have this, I'm sorry, we have this we were stricken by the typhoon, and and now we are going to celebrate Christmas. I told my sisters that we are really grateful with what we have right now, because on the other side of the Philippines, or in the other places in the Philippines, some of them are not having the kind of Christmas that we are having right now. It's always a good thing for us to look in the brighter side of the things and appreciate what we have, instead of being not contented or dissatisfied with our lives, right? Another thing is, or another reason why we feel social media envy, is that we are ungrateful, which we can trace back to being not satisfied or dissatisfied with our lives. So there are moments in our lives that no matter what we have, we still feel ungrateful, right? For example, we are eating the meal that we didn't have before, or we didn't used to eat before, but we still feel that we still have this feeling that we are looking for something greater with what we have. Like, I think it's not really that bad to feel that, because it makes you a little competitive. But if you're if you keep on feeling that kind of feeling, I think you are. I think that is really, you know it's not good for you, or it's not good for us to feel that way. We humans are inherently competitive, right? And understanding that we are competitive, or understanding this phenomenon, is will make us, look into ourselves and reflect. Humans are inherently social creatures who like to connect with others, but we are also, in nature, competitive species. The truth is that most of us enjoy showing off to some extent, right? And this inevitable outcome is a society of people who tend to take every opportunity to show the world just how great they are and how well their lives are going. Right? We are that kind. We are that kind of people in nature. We we really like to show off. From what I read in the 48 Human Laws of Power by Robert Greene, we humans are narcissistic in nature. We really like to show off. Unfortunately, it is hard to remember this when you are browsing Facebook, and this is where the problems start. According to a study carried out in the University of Copenhagen, we start to feel envious when we compare our everyday lives. So it's not really bad to compare, but if we keep on comparing every minute of the things we do in our lives with other people, um this is where your problem with social media usage arises. When you fall into the trap of comparing your private self with other people's public personas, you are bound, or you will feel inferior. Let us all remember that the things we see on social media are curated for us to see that way. We want, because they want to be seen that way. It doesn't, what happens or what you post on social media doesn't really happen in their real lives. So why should we compare, right? Why should we keep on comparing our life with others, right? We will be experiencing, or we will feel social media envy if we keep doing so. Jealousy is like real pain. Why is jealousy a problem? It might feel like it's a mere annoyance on a day-to-day level, but the effects can accumulate over time. According to a study again in Science, a journal in Science, envy and physical pain make use of the same regions on our brain. So it actually hurts for you to feel jealous about other people's lives. And if you keep doing so, it will become a bad habit. Over time, you can become a bitter person. And nobody likes bitter person, right? Who is too busy over analyzing their own shortcomings rather than living their lives. So you become too dependent on other people's lives. You're forgetting to upgrade yours. So these are the following or the signs that social media is impacting your mental health. Spending more time on social media than with real world friends. So uh, one of the signs that social media is impacting your mental health is spending more time on social media than with your real world friends. Social media becomes a substitute for a lot of your offline social interaction. So you don't get to connect with your friends in real life. You don't get to talk with them over coffee, going to a coffee shop. You tend to communicate with them through social media na lang, or through virtually. Another sign that social media is impacting your mental health is you are comparing yourself unfavorably with others on social media. You tend to have low self-esteem or sometimes negative body image. When you see when you see a friend that is going to the gym, they have this buff body, and you look at yourself, why am I so fat? You may have negative body image. And the worst thing is that you may even get disordered eating patterns. Like if you're too fat, maybe you still want to eat, but you don't want to get fat. You will get bulimia, right? Or if you are too thin, you will tend to overeat, and that's not really good for the body. Another sign that you are that social media is impacting your mental health is you are experiencing cyberbullying, or you are worrying about other people's reactions on the things that you post on your Facebook or your social media account. Although you are still out with your friends, you still stick to your phone. You keep on looking on your social media account because you are being threatened by, or you are afraid that there will be no control. You won't have no control with other people's comments on your Facebook account. So you keep on checking your social media instead of having fun with your friends. In this graph here, you can see kids, how kids feel about cyberbullying. So, or in other words, the effect of cyberbullying on our kids. So they began to abuse alcohol and drugs. They may develop an eating disorder, like what I said, if they are being bullied about their physical body. Some of them start to skip class. They stop also using social media. It's really sad, but they engage in self harm. They deleted their social media profiles because they don't want to get bullied online. Some of them had suicidal thoughts because they keep on receiving negative comments from their peers or people they don't really know. 37% of them experience or develop depression. They get depressed, and they also develop social anxiety. And this is really saddening because if you do have if you do have a child, right? If you do have a kid and you keep on seeing your son or daughter being anxious with people, it's really it will really hurt you, right? Another signs that social media is impacting your mental health are being distracted at school or work. So you feel pressure to post regular content, especially for those influencers on Facebook. They feel they have to post every now and then, get comments or likes on your post to respond quickly and enthusiastically to your friend's post. So you get distracted at your school because I have to post another one. I have to post my picture on the beach rather. Having no time for self-reflection. Every spare moment is filled with engaging with social media, which leaves you little or no time for reflecting on who you are. what you think, or why you act the way the things that you do, which allows you to develop or grow as a person. It's really important for us to have self-reflection, because I really love a quote. I really love to quote Socrates, a philosopher. He said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." So good. It's always good for us to have self-reflection, because this will help us to know who we really are and where we are going. Socrates said that the unexamined life is not worth living, because if you don't look into yourself, do introspection, you will never, or you will not know who you really are, and what is your purpose on earth. Engaging in risky behavior in order to gain likes. This is very dangerous, especially for the kids. To gain likes or to gain positive reactions, they will do foolish things online and engage in risky behavior. This is some of those will be doing pranks, posting embarrassing materials, like graphic materials about themselves, or cyberbully others, or accessing phones while driving and unsafe, or checking your social media account in unsafe situations just for the likes. Also, suffering from sleep problems. Most of the kids right now, they keep on checking their social media accounts, even if it's 12 in the evening, 11 in the evening, or if it's even if it's uh, 2 a.m. they, they keep on checking their social media accounts. And this is bad because it disrupts your sleep pattern. There's a study that says that if you keep on having sleep problems, this is dangerous for your brain, because you'll be having poor memory, like that. Another is worsening symptoms of anxiety or depression. So if you are using social media and you're experiencing this, you need to get professional help if this is really bothering you. So rather than helping to alleviate the negative feelings and boost your mood, you feel more anxious while using social media, or lonely after using social media. So those are the things that tells us about the effects of using the negative effects of using social media, and feeling this what we call social media envy. How do we combat it? That's what we want to focus right now. First is to remove boastful people from your friends list. So if you follow people who make a point of showing off at every available opportunity, unfollow or delete them. Because boastful people are rarely good friends, right? If you still want to keep in touch with them, if, for example, if you have a coworker who's very boastful, but you have no choice but to still have communication with that person, because he or she is your coworker, you can just unfollow them and stick to connecting with them through instant text or messenger. If you always see people or see posts from people on your Facebook feed that bothers you, it's possible to block those posts, especially if you're seeing posts that have graphic content. while keeping them as your friends. We can the cancel culture here in the Philippines is I think it's a little it's growing, but it's your choice to cancel that person because of what she did or what she posted online. But if you still want to keep on, if you have a friend, if you do have a if you have a friend yet that posted something that you do not like, it's not always good to cancel them out of your life. Maybe you can talk to them personally and tell them that, the post that you or the post that you created last time is not really that good. It elicited negative feedbacks. Maybe you should do something about it. You don't really have to cancel them out. You can just talk to them and tell them honestly what you're feeling about their post. So you can still keep them as your friend. It's your discretion. Check out how that's done here. Your browsing experience will suddenly become much better. So number one is remove boastful people from your friend list. Another is don't be afraid to mention good things in your own life. So if you can keep on seeing other people who are posting about their achievements, their wedding photos, their vacation photos, don't be afraid. It's your social media anyway. If you have some good news to share, spread it on your Facebook account. There is nothing wrong with acknowledging your achievements, right? And highlight it on your profile. So if you were able to a submit your thesis, or you are one step ahead on your position with your regarding your work, it's a good thing to post about it. You don't be anxious about it. It's only when it is done to excess that will make other people jealous about you. So when that time comes, you need to reevaluate your behavior on social media. Other people might have good lives, but chances are that you have great moments too, right? You could also set up a private profile that only you can view. Make this private profile as positive or even as boastful as you like. It sounds silly, but it is good for your self esteem to be boosted. Another thing is limit your social media time. I think this one is the best for the best tip for you. You can limit your social media time. And I'm sorry. How? So one of the best thing to do is when um when you have the opportunity, go offline. Whether it's only going online once or twice a week or making a clean break altogether, you need to decide how much is healthy. How much time should I spend with social media and time I should spend with myself, my friends, my family. You'll find it easier to focus on love, yourself and your life when you are no longer comparing yourself with others online. And remembering that the things that you are seeing online are curated things. So don't be too anxious if you're seeing your friend getting married with their boyfriend. You don't know, probably they've gone through a lot before they went to that kind of situation. Use social media to connect, not to compare. So Social media networks are designed for positive interactions and not pointless and unhealthy comparisons. Keep your focus, be focused always on your craft, on your work, on yourself. Take a genuine interest in other people's activities, lives, and opinions rather than running yourself down by making it into a competition. You don't have to give up your Instagram or Facebook or other social media accounts. They are really good, or they are great tools for staying connected with other people. However, for you to combat jealousy or being envious, you need to have a balanced perspective and have the willingness to step back if you feel that you are too using social media too much, or if it's getting into you too much, and you feel like you're feeling negative about it. You can take a step back when you need it. Make your life as exciting as you want it to, and treasure your real life moments. It's always they say that good memories or moments, uh, the good memories or moments that we experience doesn't always captured by the photos by a camera. So though if you feel like you don't measure up to those people on your social media feeds, remember that you can make your life as exciting, as adventurous, as humorous, as engaging, as silly, as crazy, and as spontaneous as you want it to be. Create new adventures for yourself. Go on an adventure, go on a hiking, um, go meet your friends at a coffee shop, talk to them. There are a lot of things you can do outside the virtual world or outside social media where you can experience happiness completely and genuinely. That's how you learn and grow. Always remember that you are the captain of your ship. So decide to make your life enjoyable for yourself. And all those social media envy will go away. Lastly, you can turn your envy into something positive. So instead of feeling depressed because you saw your friend posted something good about themselves or an achievement while reading on your Facebook feed, why don't you try to set goals for yourself? Why don't you try to change that enviousness into something that will help you, right? So if you see somebody who achieved something, went into a seminar or completed a certificate, why don't you try to do it, right? Go online. You can apply, you can enroll yourself online to get certificates, and you'll get a new skill. And that's good, right? Are you sad about someone's post over a new job? Why don't you get a job hunt or get back on job hunt? Depressed over not being on a party? Why don't you try to get or why don't you plan a staycation with your friends? So instead of wallowing in self pity, know you can achieve your goals with hard work and focused effort. So sometimes we need to disconnect in order to reconnect with what matters. And I really like this quote. Sometimes we need to step back a little bit and then look into ourselves. What are the things that we feel uncomfortable with? What are the things that uh, we are very envious about of other people, and then reevaluate what can I do to make that feeling go away. That's when you can love yourself, focus on the things that matters, and then go back to the virtual world and reconnect with other people. Thank you for listening, everyone, and a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
It's time for edition. The quizzing given in our comment box. Dear participants that join with us, the quiz link is given in our comment box. Our first question is, on an estimate, how many people are using social media? 3 million or 5 million? 40% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is 3 billion. Alex Xavier is leading the top position. Melanie is the second position. Mary B, Lee, and Ashok. Our second question is, on average, how many social media does a person have? First, 8 or 7? 56% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is 8. Alex Xavier is leading also in first position. Our third question is, on average, how much time do people spend in social media? 120 minutes, 142 minutes. 40% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is 142 minutes. Now Melanie is leading the first position. Our fourth question is, which of the following is a positive aspect of social media? Isolation or communication? 97% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is communication. Melanie is also leading the first position. Our next question is, the following are negative effect of social media except an anxiety source of valuable information. 83% of our participants gave the correct answer, and the correct answer is social source of valuable information. Melanie is also the leading in the first position. Our next question is, FOMO means fear of missing out, fear of missing online. 58% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is fear of missing out. Lamberto. Lamberto is leading the first position. Our next question is, which of the following can be considered cyberbullying? Intimidation on comment section of a social media platform, coercion on online messaging application. 75% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is intimidation on comment section of a social media platform. Lamberto is leading the first position. Our next question is, which of the following can be considered as effect of cyberbullying? A. Improved physical appearance. B. Poor concentration. 94% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is poor concentration. Our second last question, the following are backed effect of cyberbullying, except one, which is it depression, relaxation. 86% of our participants give the correct answer, and the correct answer is relaxation. Our last question is, which of the following is a proactive step to stay away from cyberbullies? Ensure that you know how to report and block. B. Improve physical appearance. And the 97% of our participants give the correct answer, and correct answer is ensure that you know how to report and block. Congratulations, top 10 participants. Our first position is Lamberto, second is Alex, third is Carmela. Fourth is Anna Maria. Fifth position is Igor. Sixth position is Doctor Rajesh. Seventh position is Miloni. Eighth position is Engaltina. Ninth position is Evelyn. And tenth position is Mattis. Welcome, ma'am and sir.
Good evening once again, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Dear participants, if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask our speakers.
Na, pasa-close nga nung door.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, IGP, for giving me the platform to talk about this, and also Miss Jocelyn Fundabella and Jasper Tempora.
Thank you, ma'am. We are very grateful to you.
Thank you also, Sir Kaushik Data, right? And Sir Kamrul
Yes, ma'am.
for
Kaushik.
our thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam Jocelyn. And of course, thank you, Ma'am Loida. And of course, thank you also to those who listen to us and watch this webinar all over the world.
I think, sir, they are celebrating Christmas. That's why questions are not coming in. It's almost 11 o'clock.
There's a question here
Yes,
from
ma'am. We
Facebook.
have the first question from Manolita. Teacher action as scrutinized by the community where they are teaching. Is there a school restriction for teachers posting on Facebook, TikTok, or tweeting on Twitter?
Yeah, can you? Sorry.
Yeah, I think I can answer this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
um, from Manolita Oligo. Okay, first, all of us have our freedom to post anything on social media, but of course, as teachers, we are all 24/7 teachers. We should have the values, and of course we are mandated by whatever school that we are into to follow their rules, be it a private or a public school. Hence we should be familiar with their rules, specifically in private schools, the sectarian schools. Now, they have their own rules, but as for um, um what they call this, government owned schools, we are governed by the Magna Carta for teachers. So well, for the Philippines, no, but for an international level, I think our values should be our standards as to what to post in our social media platforms. Because of course, no, we are all bounded by culture, um, by moral obligations. Hence, we have to be role models of for our students. So I hope that that is a clear answer for Ma'am Manolita's question.
Yeah, very well said.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am Jacqueline,
Yeah, I think I go with Sir Josberg that we should maintain our good manners and right conduct, of course, in exposing ourselves as teachers. And I would like to reiterate that teachers are again 24/7 teacher. That's it, sir.
thank you, ma'am. Ma'am Dagami, our second question is, hi, ma'am Dagami, how to help those students hurt themselves when being scolded by their parents not doing their assignments?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Um, I think first things first is that we should listen to those children who experiencing being hurt by or being scolded by their parents, and we should weigh things. Let's ask and ask them why are they being scolded by their parents. Why are not doing their assignments. Are the children bothered or distracted? And for those parents who are scolding their children, hurting them, it's maybe what we can do to intervene is to as teachers is to connect with them, talk with those parents, listen to them, and also advise them to do positive reinforcement because that's better. Instead of hurting your children, they will not learn with or they will not learn their assignments if parents are keep on doing that.
Thank you, ma'am. Our third question is one Sang. He is from Bhutan. Hello, sir and ma'am. You have mentioned both the advantages and disadvantages. Would you still recommend people to use social media as a platform, or life would have been good without it?
Yeah. So I think I can answer that again. Okay, allow me to answer this first. Okay, again, there are, as you've mentioned, sir, there are both advantages and disadvantages. Let me first focus on the advantages. Of course, the social media platforms are being used for easy communication, and communication is a vital part of being, um, into the event, especially nowadays that we are in a pandemic. We cannot do just talk to people right in face to face, or some sort of like that. um Hence, we still need the social media if we are going to utilize it um in the most advantageous for all of us. But if we will be using this to spread fake news, to spread lies, to spread hatred among others, then probably it's better for us to cancel it. But again, whatever, for me personally, as long as it is in our advantageous side, then we can still make use of it and utilize it for specifically for a good purpose.
Yeah. Basically, we cannot get rid away of the social media, right? at this point in time, specifically now it's pandemic, we use the social media 90% I think of our lives, especially in teaching. That's why we had all the discussion of what the advantages and disadvantages. So we discussed about the disadvantages, then let's not do it. So let's go to the discussion of the advantages, the things that we can help for our growth. And then I think we still will recommend the use of social media into a positive way as per discussion. So we've discussed all the advantages that we can help us um, focus and teach our children to, to still use the social media in a nice, proper way.
I'd also like to add that, like what I mentioned earlier, uh, social media is very important for us to connect with other people.
Yes,
Yeah, and the best thing to do if you are experiencing negativity and using social media is like what I said earlier, is to step back. Like anything that we are using and eating, so using social media should be in moderation.
yes. And of course, for the young people, like children, they parents or guardians still need to monitor their children of the things that they're doing in social media. Okay, so practice
Thank,
being a parent or a guardian. Okay.
thank you, man. Thank you, sir. Our second question from Manolita. How can teachers show to their student that social media is more than just selfies?
Yeah, again, ako ulit.
Yeah.
Me. I rather. I'm sorry. I'm speaking in Tagalog. Okay. Well, ma'am, if you're a teacher, actually in our school, we are making use of Facebook to distribute learning materials, or we're using Facebook to give assignments. We're using Messenger to give instructions, and through that we are actually living by example that these social media can also be a platform for learning, not just for selfies. And also, we're utilizing, by the way, Facebook to upload. We have a certain group or page rather, that that is uploading some infographic material about their about career, about sciences, about engineering, etc. And yeah, it's a good tool for our learners to learn things about themselves, about their possible careers outside school, and whatever. So yeah, I think that's how we can show them that social media is not just for selfies.
That's part also of, in addition, that's part also of, yes, that's our, in here in the Philippines, that's part of our MOVs, or what do you call that? MOVs, it's what do you call that MOV,
Means
sir?
of verifications.
Yes, okay. Sometimes, some of the tests or some of the submitted requirements or assignments are missing. So they need that to, to prove that they've done their part. Is there
Thank you,
any
man.
more? Yeah.
Our next question is, what role does the people and the parents of all the children can play to control and minimize the negative use of social media?
I'd like to answer this question.
Okay, ma'am.
Um, okay, thank you. In the Philippines, we do have influencers. We call them influencers on social
Mm.
media, and some of them are doctors, linguistic professors, history professors. Those are the kind of people that can help control and minimize the negative use of social media by providing um, fact checked information and also helping the kids who are seeing them on social media learn a lot of things. Like for example, there's a doctor, we call him we call him as Dr. Kilimanguru, who teaches all social media users about physical medical health, and that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
I also would like to add, I think people and parents should be um, the guardian, not the
Yes.
controllers, because as parents, we have the responsibility to control the use of social media, specifically among the young ones, because social media are designed for are not designed
Them.
for young ones, especially 5 years old or 8 years old. They should be doing other things, not so rather than social media. So I think we have to control it, especially um, parents nowadays are utilizing gadgets to be the nannies of their young ones, and these young ones are being exposed to social media, and them being exposed to it, they are being able to get negative, both the negative and positive effects of or aspects of the social media. So I think control really is the role. Controller is really the role of parents for their children.
Aside from, I think, aside from controlling them, being a parent, you should also, or being a guardian, you should also monitor from time to time the use of the internet or use of social media of your children. If we're going to quantify the level of the children, of course, the young ones are not supposed to be, 24/7 in that gadget, and that they are not, of course, useful, as I have discussed. They're not, for learning purposes. So you should monitor the whereabouts of the gadget, of the,
Yeah, that's true.
um, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next question from Manolita. Based on international survey, Philippines especially, among teenagers are the highest users of social media. What do you think? What are the reason? Why and how can the situation address? Very good question.
Yeah, what do you think? I
It's a
think
good
from the point of view of course, from my point of view as psychology, in line in psychology, I think one, uh, of course, is the self identity. They want to, explore themselves, and of course, they want to be somehow recognize themselves one way or another. So aside from that, they really want to explore more of the self. They want to discover more of the self, and then of course they have in mind that somehow some influencer also influence them in, in shaping their behavior, in shaping their personality. I think that's one. I don't know the others.
I think it's also the fear of missing out. Just like what I have discussed earlier, it's the FOMO
Yeah,
culture, the fear
yeah.
of missing out. Because you know what, these teenagers nowadays, they love being exposed. They love
Mm.
exposures. You know, if you look at TikToks, it is bombarded with a lot of videos coming from the teenagers. And for your follow up question, how do you think, or how can this situation address? I think it's the households. the parents, the upbringing are really the factors on how we can address this. If we will be able to manage the this particular scenario at home, imagine in the home level, I think while growing up, these children will not have this idea of FOMO, or fear of missing out, so that you know I mean, just look at yourself. I mean, ourselves. We were born in 80s, 90s. We do not have this kind of fear. We do not have this kind of thinking that we are being left behind. And so I think it's really our upbringing, aside from, of course,
Yes.
our generation. So yeah, I think that's one way to address that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Teenagers also like to belong into a group. That's
Yes.
why I think teenagers are the highest users of social media. And I agree with Sir Josper that it always starts in your homes, in how the parents interact, and also their parenting style,
Yes.
on how they will or on how they interact with their children. So it's parents have a big role in shaping the teenagers on how they will be seen on social media.
Thank you, sir and ma'am. I think it's today topic is very important to our teenager. Again, thank you so much and Merry Christmas to our all speaker and all the participants. Thank you,
Thank
sir,
you
for
very
give
much.
us. Thank you very much for
Thank
give
you all.
us
Thank you
your
both.
valuable time.
Thank you, everyone, and you're very
Yes.
much welcome.
If you have any opinion to our participant, please express it. Yes, sir and ma'am, if you have any opinion about our participants, please express it.
Uh, Miss Josephine.
Oh, our opinion of our participants. I thank you very much for all the participants. I was able to look at the messages and the comments, and particularly I am very flattered and amazed because you stayed for almost 2 hours for listening to all our topics. Thank you very much, participants. I hope we can still have it by next year.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, on my end naman, on my end, I have seen a very active participants. They are really
Yes,
answering the questions being flashed on our screen, and that's a good
yes,
indication that they are really listening. And that's also a good feedback among us, the speakers, that they are really into our topic. And of course,
yes,
I'd like to get this opportunity also to thank the Institute of Global Professionals for having us today, tonight. Even though it's a little noisy around us because of the celebration here in the Philippines, we're still able to bridge it through. And with that, thank you very
yes.
much.
Thank you so much.
And for the listeners, I am very happy that they are very participative. I keep on seeing on the comment section, and they on YouTube and also on Facebook. I see a lot of people commenting and sending their
Yes, so
regards also.
yes, so
And thank you
flattering.
very much. Yeah, thank you very much for bearing with us for almost 3 hours, and happy holidays.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy holiday to all of our speakers.
Yes.
Thank you to our all participants and also again happy Christmas. Thank you all.